When you're standing on a construction site staring at a concrete slab and trying to figure out how to get the right slope, the hesitation can feel almost as heavy as the material you're working with. You've probably tried a few handheld lasers, maybe even a rotary unit that promised auto-grade, only to find that the setup time eats up your schedule and the accuracy drifts once the day gets hot. I'm going to walk through exactly what the Leica Rugby CLH laser system with the CLX300 semi-auto grade does for people in that spot, and help you decide if it's worth the investment or if a simpler tool will get the job done. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about the problem this system is built to solve. Concrete formwork and land leveling work demand two things: a reliable reference line that you can trust all day long, and the ability to set a precise slope, often something like an 8% grade for drainage, without spending half an hour measuring with a level and a tape. The Leica Rugby CLH is a semi-automatic rotating laser that lets you dial in a single grade and then it maintains that angle as it sweeps 360 degrees. What that means in practice is you set the desired slope once, walk the site with the integrated receiver, and the laser keeps the grade consistent across the entire area. For a crew that needs to pour a slab that drains toward a storm drain, that can shave off at least an hour of work per pour. Now, who actually benefits from this level of automation? If you're a contractor who does regular concrete pours, especially on jobs where drainage slopes are non-negotiable, the Rugby CLH is a genuine time saver. The integrated CLC combo remote and receiver housed together means you're not juggling separate pieces of equipment. You can hand the receiver to a helper, have them walk the edge of the formwork, and watch the laser stay locked to the exact grade you set. That reduces the chances of human error that often creep in when you're constantly resetting a manual level. It also works well for land leveling projects where you need a single, stable reference line across a large field. The 360-degree rotation ensures every corner is covered without repositioning the unit. On the other side of the coin, if your work rarely involves graded concrete or you only need a laser for occasional level checks, the Rugby CLH might be overkill. The system is priced for professional use, and its semi-auto features add complexity that a casual DIYer could find unnecessary. For someone who just needs a basic line laser to hang cabinets or frame walls, a lower-priced rotary laser without the grade function would get the job done without the extra setup steps. Let's get into the practical strengths that matter once the box is opened. The first thing you notice is the IP68 military rating. In the field, that translates to a unit that can survive being dropped, exposed to rain, dust, and even a brief submersion. I've seen crews leave it out overnight during a storm. When morning comes, it powers up exactly as it should, no calibration needed. That durability is not just a marketing badge, it saves you the headache of having to send the laser back for service when you're on a tight schedule. The second strength is the grade adjustment itself. You turn the dial, select an 8% slope, and the laser's internal processor holds that angle while it rotates. In a real-world scenario, I watched a crew set up a 1,020-foot slab, enter a 2% slope for a drainage channel, and the laser maintained that gradient across the whole surface. The receivers displayed the exact deviation, letting the workers make micro-adjustments on the fly. That level of precision is hard to achieve with a manual level, especially when the temperature shifts and the laser's beam can wander a few millimeters per 100 feet. Another practical benefit is the all-new CLC combo. Because the remote and receiver are built into a single unit, you eliminate the need to sync separate devices, which can be a source of misalignment. The combo also reduces the number of cables and connectors that could fail on a busy site. When you hand the receiver to a teammate, they can immediately see the laser's grade readout, which keeps communication clear and speeds up the workflow. Now for the weaknesses you'll feel after you start using it. The first is the learning curve. The semi-auto mode requires you to understand how the grade dial interacts with the laser's rotation speed. If you're used to a purely manual laser, the extra step of setting the grade can feel like an extra task, especially if you're under pressure to start pouring quickly. The user manual does a decent job, but the real mastery comes after a few setups. That's not a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind if you're training new crew members. The second drawback is battery life under continuous rotation. The Rugby CLH draws more power than a simple line laser because it's constantly processing the